So, in this series of videos, I'll be talking about I am a 2000. I my peak rating was 2000 elo, and on chess.com in rapid format of 10-minute games, and I'll be uh, taking you from the basics up until my few repertoires, the few systems that I play and I implement in my games. So this will be the first of those games, or first of those basics. So I'll be taking you from the basics uh, to my current level. It is not a very uh, high level for sure, and there are many other creators who have probably done amazing jobs online teaching chess. For example, Chess Base India has done uh, very good jobs. Hanging Pawns, the YouTube channel has made a lot of videos, a lot of repertoires, and Gotham Chess, the most popular chess YouTuber or streamer, has many repertoires uploaded online. So hopefully I'll be adding a few things in those things. I'll be I'll try to give uh, a different uh, point of view. Although I consider myself a beginner at the advanced level, so I can uh, calculate well sometimes, uh, and I and so one of my black pawns is broken, as you can see. Don't mind it, please. So let's start with the basics. So so what I have heard from online tutorials, as well as realized uh, while playing. So I have certainly played more than 10,000 games, which blitz or more time consuming time controls. If you count in bullet also, I must have crossed 15,000 games online. I haven't kept record of uh, my offline games, although they must be below 1,000. So I haven't met a lot of people who can play chess at a good level, and well, that's another story, and we'll continue it some other time. So the the board can be viewed from the point that these four squares in the middle can be considered as the top of a hill. So you can think of this as this is a big mountain. This is a big mountain. So in a battle, whoever has the high ground in the mountain uh, is more powerful, and dictates the pace of the war, and has more control. So it is similar in chess as well. The more your pieces are centralized. So this is only from the point of view of these basic things can only take you up until uh, a s- a threshold or a milestone uh, within a game like this. These are only basics. These will not let you get checkmated in let's say 15 or 20 moves. You'll be safe for 15 or 20 moves uh, in the game. So if you have those scholar made types of problems where people just bring their queen out fast, and you don't know what to do, so this will certainly help you in countering these kinds of positions where people quickly beat you in the beginning. This is very very popular in chess, and this is called as scholar's mate. So so these kind of problems will not these kind of things will not be a problem after learning the basics. So as I was saying, the the middle is the more your pieces are towards the center, the more they control the game. So so good moves, what can be considered as good moves are trying to control the center as quickly as possible. So this move, playing this move on playing e4. So how these squares are mm, squares are named is so from your uh, left hand to right hand. These are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. So, and from the point of view of white, and from here forward, these are called as files. No, these are ranks, and these are files. These are these are files. So A file, B file, C file, D file, E file, F file, G file, and H file. And these are the ranks. So first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank, fifth rank, sixth rank, seventh rank, and eighth rank. So this is from the perspective of white. So uh, this move e4 uh, controls this controls these two squares. So I think I should have started with telling how the pieces move. So let me do that. So pawns can from their original squares, pawns can move one square or two squares. This 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 thing can be done on the first move only. So pawns can move uh, two two steps on the first move only, and after that they move one square. So first move they move two squares, and they capture diagonally. For example, if the opponent plays here e5, uh, you cannot capture his pawn. That is not how pawns work. That is not how pawns capture. So pawns capture diagonally. So if I play d4 in this position, the opponent has the option of capturing my d pawn. So that is how pawns work. There is also one very special rule which is very unique, and that is the uh, en passant. You pronounce it is a French word. You, it is spelled as ENPASSANT. So so uh, in chess you can look at it in this philosophical way, that or theoretical way, that that every pawn, that this pawn is destined to this pawn is destined to at least have the possibility of uh, encountering these two pawns. So you can think it of like this, that this pawn is to be uh, destined to have the possibility of encountering either his adjacent pawns basically. So so the rule of a pawn being able to move two squares from its original squares can contradict this destiny of a pawn, that that it that it has to interact or have the possibility to interact with its adjacent pawn where a pawn captures. So for example, I play e4 and my opponent plays, let's say, this he plays c5, he plays, then I play e5. And if and in this position, if my opponent plays d5, which is the pawn next to this pawn, this pawn next to this pawn, next to this pawn. So so this pawn moving originally from this square, and moving two steps, and this pawn was here already. So this pawn never got a chance to interact with this pawn. So 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 to counter this problem, or to counter this loophole, uh, the the move of en passant was created. So so after your opponent playing this move, you have the option to capture the pawn like this. You have the option to capture the pawn like this, and this can only be done on the very next move. For example, if your opponent plays this and then you play this, then this move has been solidified. You cannot capture it like this, so you have to capture it right away. That is en passant. I hope that was clear enough. I'm trying my best. Okay. So pawns move like this, and knights move in an L shape. So they are so two two steps in in any direction, and then they can move to left or to the right. So that is how knights move in an L shape. So one step, two step, left or right, wherever you want. Hopefully I will be talking about many concepts also in the game as well. For example, pin and double check and many of those kinds of interesting things. So knights move in an L shape, and bishops bishops are very interesting pieces. For example, uh, not for example, for certain, uh, a black bishop can only move a black squared bishop can only move in black squares throughout the game. It can never jump to a uh, white square. They always move diagonally. That is how they move. And same goes with the light squared bishop. They move diagonally and keep moving in their assigned square. from their origination. So light squared bishop will move in light squares only, and there is no limit uh, how many squares they can move. They can move a maximum of 8 squares at a time. So if a light square bishop is here, it can move to here. This is a potential possibility for sure. And then comes the rook moves in, you can say, in a plus formation of a plus. They move in a straight line. They move in a straight line, and there is no boundation on how many squares they can move. They can move as many squares as there are on the board. And then comes the, let's take the king. So king can move one square, only one square, in any direction. Can move in straight lines or can move diagonally, but only one square. So that is the king. And finally the queen. So the queen is the most powerful piece on the board without a doubt. It can move in straight lines as much as the length of the board, or in diagonally as much as the length of the board. It can be said that the queen can move like every other piece except the knight. So the knight moves in an L direction, but queen moves like every other piece except the knight. So in plus or in crosses, that's how the queen moves. So I hope it is clear how the pieces move. So let me continue with the basics. So there is such a thing known as the golden rules of chess. So the golden rules of chess are as follows. The first rule I've already told is controlling the center. You move one piece, two steps, one pawn two steps, and he moves uh, the same pawn two steps. So both are trying to control the center. Both are trying to be uh, powerful. Both are trying to capture the big mountain, so they can dictate the game and take advantage in the game. So let me make a few moves which don't usually happen in a game, but for the sake of explaining, let me make a few moves. So the first moves that you play are trying to capture the center. So that is the first golden rule of chess, which is try to capture the center. Then comes the second rule: develop pieces, and develop them fast, and don't move them more than once unless you feel necessary to uh, break this rule. Like, it is not a rule like, if you don't play like this, you'll, like, it is allowed to play. It is allowed to move a piece more than once in a game, but it is not ideal. So so you develop pieces. So, and also one more thing: the knights and bishops are known as the mm, minor pieces in the game, and the rooks and the queen are considered as the major pieces in the game. There is also an evaluation system with which you can evaluate the worth of the piece. So knights and bishops are worth 3 points each, and rook is worth 5 points, a pawn is worth single point, and a queen is worth 9 points, and king is not worth, or you could say king is priceless. If your king dies, you lose the game. That is how it is. So the second golden rule of chess being developing the pieces. So developing your minor pieces. And the third golden rule of chess is king safety. This development I have done only for the sake of, only for the purpose of explaining. So third rule being king safety. So you castle your king. So notice how one castles the king is by is by so it is also a very dynamic, interesting move, castling. So the king moves two squares to its left or to its right, and the conditions uh, that is required for uh, one side being able to castle is that the king shouldn't have moved moved once, not even once, and then moved back into its place, and then the king cannot castle anymore. If the king moves once and then comes back to its place, it cannot castle. If the king moves once, then it cannot castle. And same goes with the rook. If the rook moves once, the king cannot castle in that.